What's up guys, it's Mike with Shallow Reefing. Come back at you with another video, and today I have a budget light from Hygger that might be perfect for your tank. I'm gonna put it through its paces and see what the par is and do my review on it. So this is gonna be an unboxing review. Let's get into it. If you want to check out more about this light, click on the link below for the Amazon link and you can take a look for yourself. Alright, so this is the Hygger Aquarium Saltwater Light. HG-107, this is the 50-watt version. Now they only have one version of this, but hopefully if this goes really well, they might come out with new versions in the future. And full disclosure, they did send this to me for a review. So let's open up and see what's inside. Alright, so you saw it was really well packaged in there. You got your manual, you got your bracket that you got to put together with all the clips and an Allen wrench and some screws, and then you have your light, which is one big solid piece, which is pretty robust. You got your controls down here and your adapter. So the instructions are really straightforward, so let's put this bracket together because it is very obvious how to do it with the directions. So these bottom screws go into the main base plate just like this, because this is what's going to be in contact with water. So these are the plastic ones and they're very large for you to grab on and twist them. So you have 4 of these rounded screw heads here, and then 2 of these flat screw heads here. The rounded ones go on the base all the way up, and the flat ones are at the very top bracket that go across and they become recessed. Now, the bracket can go down all the way to about a foot, and then you can actually extend it all the way up to about 18 inches over the water. So you get an extra 6 inches at least of height in this. Keep in mind when you do hang the light, it's going to be about 5 inches at the minimum above the water. So even though this goes up to 18 inches, you're going to have about 13-ish inches of height above the water at its maximum height. So I'm going to tighten all this up and route the cables over the brackets and we'll get this thing going. All right, so this is mounted on the back of the tank. You have about 5 inches from the back of the tank up to 10 inches from the back of the tank to mount this in that sweet spot. So if you had like a 24-inch tank, you'd move it all the way to the end. This would be ideal for a 24-inch tank down 18-inch. If you got a 40-gallon breeder, this would be perfect for that, honestly. This does have an 18-inch wire that you can hang from maybe a ceiling or another fixture, or however you want to do it. So there are a couple different options that you can use for this. So for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part off, which is the top, and just kind of connect it in here, just like it's shown on the picture, and then tighten this up and get it as close to the top as possible. So I pulled this all the way up through, and now I'm just going to run the cable over top just like that. And then I will put down these brackets that go here and make it nice and flush all the way down. It's gonna look real nice. And here's a little diagram, just letting you guys know about what you can expect from the setup, the sizes, and the height above water. I will say this can go up to 0.8 inch thick glass. I'm about to put this on my 20-gallon long, but keep in mind, this is mostly for not those, Aqueon, $1 per gallon sale tanks. These are more for like your all glass tanks, like those Innovative Marine tanks that are all glass in the back, something along those lines. You can make this work, and I'm about to show you how you can make it work, but you will have to add a little shim right in the front just because there is going to be a weird lip on a traditional tank. So you can kind of see how there's this lip right here going across. If you want to, prevent that lip from like bending and everything with this, you're gonna have to kind of shim up underneath it just like this and give it a little more to bite onto the front, because these tanks are really thin and it's gonna be a little bit difficult for it. All right, so now I got it mounted, and I definitely had to shim it. If you have a standard aquarium that has the black lips, you must shim it in order to have structural integrity, or else the light's not gonna be stable on its platform. I recommend shimming it. I have some plastic shims that I put in there, glued them on, it works perfectly, it's very stable now. But if you don't have them, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to get them if you have these black box aquariums, or just get a nice rimless Innovative Marine tank. it'll be wonderful on those. Now, as far as the color goes, I actually like the color. I do like more of that blue purple as opposed to a straight Windex blue. And this has a nice blue, but yet a purple hue to it, which is very appealing to me. And you do get some of the shimmer with the light coming from a spotlight source. And here's a little diagram of what is on the controller and exactly what each one does. I'm about to go over it with you. All right, so with the intensities on this, you have the intensity here and you have 100%, you got 77%, 55%, 32%, and 10%, then it goes back up to 100. You can also set the time. I would probably do 9 hours right there. When you got the green, it's 9 hours, red, 12 hours off. Then you got yellow for 6 hours. We're gonna set it for 9 hours. Now, when you do this, you need to set it for a 9-hour cycle. So whenever you start it, when I start this timer, that's when my 9 hours start. So, you know, if you wanted it to come on at 10 in the morning, you want to start at 10 in the morning, hit that timer for 9 hours, then it'll go from 10 in the morning to, do math in my head, 7 at night. Now, if you want to get into a DIY mode where you change the color and the brightness, you can hit this button and then you can kind of fiddle with how the brightness looks. So I have all the lights on right now, but if you wanted to have only blues or if you wanted more whites, you could hit this button and then it would change the light. So let's get back here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, again, so we got more of the full blue, more actinic look, full spectrum, and then more of the whites. Now, the white is not as bright because there aren't as many white lights, but I like this full spectrum the best. And this is the spectrum you can expect when you have all channels on at 100%, and this is the distribution. Now, what I use is mode 1, the full white, where it's got the 6 whites, 6 purples, 7 royal blues, 33 blues, 3 greens, and 1 red. This is where I'm going to be getting all my PAR readings from because it does have the most LED lights. But I know why everyone's here. We want to see the PAR readings. So I'm going to put it over the main display and get some PAR readings. All right, so I have the light about 6.5 inches off the water, and I'm about to do some PAR readings and see how it is punching down to the bottom of the tank. Now, this tank is about 21 inches deep, so we'll keep that in mind. I'll put up a big picture right now and show you exactly what PAR I'm getting with the light at 100% and all channels on with the 50 watt. So you can see right on the script, I'm getting 200 PAR directly underneath the light, 125 on the chip pavona, 65 directly down on the micro musa, and 50 on the sand bed. Then you can see as we move away from the center, it does taper off just a little bit. On the right hand side with 70 PAR on the acros, 50 on the hammer. Left side you got 100 PAR at the top of those acros, 75 on the Duncan, and 45 on the meat corals. And if you look, it's actually spreading 24 inches, which is amazing. I was not expecting it to actually have a 24-inch spread. Wow, so I'm pretty impressed because this actually does cover about a 2 foot by 2 foot area on the reef tank. For 70 bucks, that is some good PAR and a pretty good spread for a little 50 watt light to pump out all that. That is, you know, kudos to Hygger. That light definitely delivers. You are definitely getting your money's worth with that light. And I mean, look at the coloration. If you like some of that shimmer and you like this coloration, which I'm kind of a fan of, I like more of that purplish coloration over the Windex blue, because if you have all these channels at 100%, this is what it's going to look like. It's pretty solid. I'm really happy with this coloration, and I really like the shimmer. You should never touch a light when it's running, but I mean, this is lukewarm to the touch, not really that hot at all. There is some nice dissipation going on here with all the LED diodes. All right, so what I think about the Hygger HG-107, I mean, I think the word KISS comes in mind. Keep it simple, stupid. Hygger kept this super simple. You don't have all the crazy timers and doing all the things with the diodes. It's robot. That thing is heavy. That thing is like a Kessel, but heavier than a Kessel. It's got a solid heat sink. It has very easy programming. It has like 3 different types of color settings, and it saves tons of money. The price point at 70 bucks for the par that thing's putting out, for the shimmer, for the spread, that's a really solid light. I was not expecting this to be this good. Totally not trying to pitch it. Don't make any money off of this. Hygger just sent it to me for a review, but man, if I got like a rimless tank, definitely going for this. Now, if you do have one of those rim tanks, it's gonna be a little bit harder. You're gonna have to kind of like mount it like this. I mounted it on top of my my Aquatic Life T5 fixture, and it was super simple because I just used the included brackets and it kind of just sits right on top of it. But I like it. I think if you're new to the hobby and you got one of those all-in-one tanks, like a JBJ, you know, you need a light to go over top of it. And you saw the par. That par is pretty impressive for that little fixture. And I don't think you can go wrong with it, honestly. You know, obviously, right tool for the right job. I'm not gonna be putting a bunch of these on my 200-gallon tank. I think it would be a little bit too cumbersome, but man, if I got like a little 20-gallon, maybe I got like a 40-gallon breeder, maybe I can put 2 of them side by side, turn the intensities down. I mean, that's a win-win right there. For the price point, get into the hobby, geez. I mean, you could light a bunch of small tanks with this. Now, my one criticism for this is that the cord is a little short. It's about 8 feet total length, not too long. I mean, if you got a smaller aquarium, you're not gonna be worried about this. If you have bigger aquariums, you know, we like to add supplemental lights, and this would be a really cool light for a supplemental light, especially like a little spotlight on a big reef. But with that power cord being that short, it kind of hinders it a little bit. So I'd like to see a little bit longer of a cord, but overall, I think it's a solid choice for sure. All right, guys, that's all I got for you this time. If you like what you see here and you want to see more, click the subscribe button. Give me a like, give me a comment below, and let me know how you liked this video. And if this helped you out and maybe solidified you buying the Hygger Saltwater Aquarium light. As always, there will be links down in the description below if you like this light. And I will see you later. What's up, guys? It's Mike with Shallow Reefing, coming back at you with another video. And today... Hey Daniel, do you like that light? Does it look pretty? Does it look pretty?
Cheese.
Cheese. Do you like the light? It looks pretty?
Cheese.
Okay.